Hey there, art nerds. I have a brand new Stashbuster watercolor tutorial for you guys, and we are finally tackling Galaxy bookmarks. I've tried these a few times over the years, but I think I've hit a method that I'm really happy with, and I am really excited to share it with you guys today. I created this bookmark tutorial to help me prepare for teaching this class in person to a group of 9 to 18-year-olds, so if they can learn how to do it, I believe in you. You got this. So grab your paints, grab your paper, and let's get painting. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to use the same materials that I'm going to bring for my class. So I have Stonehenge Aqua Cold Press Cotton Rag watercolor paper that I'm going to go ahead and cut into bookmarks. I also have my watercolor paints. Most of these are PWC paints. I like those because in my area, they are fairly affordable watercolor paints. I'm going to remove my watercolor paper from the block. So generally my Stashbuster tutorials are designed for you to use up all those scraps of watercolor paper that I know you've been hoarding because I've been hoarding them. But when I'm preparing for a class, I need to make a bunch of bookmarks and they need to be on the same kind of paper so that the kids have consistency. So I'm also sharing a little behind the scenes of prepping for the class. And I actually have a tutorial where I talk about my class prep. So if you're interested in teaching, keep an eye out for that. I am going to use some artist masking tape to tape my bookmark to some scrap chipboard. This is chipboard from the backs of other watercolor blocks. So if you happen to be keeping that around as well, this is great for it because it's going to prevent your bookmark from getting all buckled and bent out of shape when we add water. The colors I'm using are Opera, Ultramarine Light, and Permanent Violet, as well as Winsor Newton's Lamp Black, and I will be using Winsor Newton White Gouache. You can use whatever colors you want. What I wanted to do for this is I wanted a really bright neon color. I wanted a nice granulating color that would work well in a nighttime sky. And then I'd wanted two darker colors. So I went with a purple and I went with a black, but you could do whatever colors work for you. I am using a Royal Langnickel Zen watercolor brush for this because that is what the library has purchased for their watercolor students. So I want to be consistent with what I have for them. This is also what I include in my watercolor kits. And I've been thinking about making a watercolor kit version of this bookmark. So let me know in the description below if you guys would be interested in getting an all-in-one of your paint, your paper, your brush, basically everything you need to paint this bookmark. So I have filled my wells about halfway up with clean water, allowed that to soak in for a little bit, and I am stirring my paint around to mix it. I was working straight from the tube in these. My students were working from pre-activated water or from dried out watercolors that were reactivating. So if you are working from already dried watercolors, you're going to want to let them sit for 10 minutes if you have the spare time, just to really allow those little dots to absorb as much of that water as possible. I'm swatching them here because we have some really dark mass tone colors and I want you guys to see the colors that I'm using for the bookmark. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a wash of clean water all over the bookmark. And this is why we're working with cotton rag paper, is because it can really take all this water. Then we are going to just dot in some of our lightest, brightest colors. So in this instance, the Opera Rose. I've also got some Galaxy reference pulled up on my computer screen. So I'm kind of looking at that as I'm painting. While everything's still wet, we're going to dab in our next color. In this instance, our granulating Ultramarine Light. And what I love about this is I love how Opera and this particular blue mixed together to make some really beautiful effects and some really beautiful kind of purplish colors. So we've got our really bright, brilliant color. We've got our granulating color. Now we're going to start dabbing in our purple while it's still wet, basically filling in the rest of our bookmark. I'm going to use a thirsty watercolor brush to dab up our excess water. And if there's some areas that are too dark, if you want to create some lighter areas, you can use a clean paper towel to lift up some of that color. And this will also allow you to rework some areas that maybe you feel like there's too much purple in there and you want to add in some more of your lighter color. Maybe you want to add in some more of your granulating color. Using your paper towel to dab some of it up can allow you to make those adjustments. So I'm just going to kind of keep finessing it until I feel like it looks good. It does not have to be perfect. This is like one of 3 layers. So we're really just kind of setting the groundwork in here. One thing I will advise is don't let it work too dark at this stage. Keep it really light. It's better to air too light at this point than to go too dark, because we really want to capture that kind of galaxy effect. And if we go too dark too early, that's going to be so much harder to see. Then we're going to dry our bookmark out. And once there is no more surface water, it's no longer shiny, I found that I can pull out my hairdryer to get it to dry quicker. And this is a necessity when teaching watercolor classes in Southeast Louisiana, where it's incredibly humid. So once it's fully dry, I'm going to start my next layer. And I'm kind of reiterating the hot pink kind of over some of the same areas, adding it in a few new areas. This time, we're working much more saturated, but I want to work quickly. So I want to work wet into wet. So I want my colors to blend into each other and to kind of diffuse and give that kind of soft, misty, atmospheric effect. One thing I do want to point out, and I've mentioned this before, this is why you guys don't see me using hair dryers often, is I find that it makes my pigments just seem a lot duller than if I don't use a hair dryer. So if you can afford the time, maybe this could be just something you pick at all day long when you've got a few minutes of free time here and there. I like doing that when I have household chores. I love those sort of wet into wet sort of watercolor pieces for those kind of days. This could be a good way to get a little bit of art in when you only have 5-10 minutes here and there. But of course, no curious cats or young children who might get into it. You don't want to leave this stuff open. So I'm going to dab up some of the color, and that frees me up to be able to add in some more saturated color. Now, if we were doing this from a kit and you run out of paint, you could sub in with your own paint if you want to, or you can just decide to kind of lean on some of the other colors. It's really up to you. So I'm going to start working in some more of the purple, because now I want to start creating the effect of the nighttime sky. So everything's still kind of wet, and I'm trying not to add too much purple at any given time. Keep in mind that with watercolor, the more water you have, the lighter it's going to dry, the more layers it's going to take to get it up to saturation. So you may want to keep that in mind when you're adding your water to your half pans initially. So we are on layer number 2, and we still haven't added any black. And the reason for this is black can have a tendency to really take over. So you want to kind of use it sparingly. Now that I've got everything kind of blocked in, I've got the colors where I want them, I'm going to gently add in just a little bit of the black, because believe me, it's going to spread. It's going to take over. We're adding this in wet into wet to give that color a chance to really kind of move and spread. Now, if you have a really nice granulating black, I'm using lamp black, which has some nice granulation to it. If you have lunar black, for example, you can get some gorgeous granulation with this. This could be a really fun one to pull out the super granulating watercolors and use that for some of the earlier layers. So it seems like we've got a lot of black on the bookmark. I'm going to flick in a little bit of our white gouache while this is still wet. What this is going to do is it's going to really diffuse out and kind of create these kind of like nebula-esque clouds in the background. Now there is a lot of water on this brush. These mops hold a whole bunch of water, so this is a little bit wetter than what you might want. You may want to move down to a smaller brush that's going to hold less water, just kind of depending on what you're looking for. But this is what the white gouache looks like as it diffuses out onto the bookmark. I decided I wanted to flick a little bit more on there, and I do that by just gently hammering on my brush and allowing the bristles to kind of reverberate and flick the paint down onto the paper. And then I'm going to give this a chance to dry completely, and then we can see what we've got. And I love including the hyperlapse drying segments. So on this note, I do want to talk a little bit about the time spent. So once it's dried out a bit more, we're going to flick some more of our white gouache on it. So this has been edited down to about 15 minutes. Unedited, this was 53 minutes, not including the dry times. I kind of picked at this bookmark off and on over the course of 2 hours. So give yourself plenty of dry time for this. And speaking of dry, once it is dried, I'm going in with our lamp black, and then I'm going to rinse my brush out so it's got clean water in it, and I'm going to use this to kind of blend out our just straight up lamp black onto the bookmark. I'm also using the paper towel to kind of like remove excess water, remove excess paint from the brush, just to kind of help with the water control. Some of these synthetic brushes, like the one you guys see me using here, they can really just add a lot of water to your paper, and it can be difficult to control. So that's why I keep Viva paper towels just handy, so I can just dab off that excess water. And then as I'm working, I'm using my paper towel to lift back in some light areas. And then you can go back in with your beautiful bright colors, like our Ultramarine Light in this example, or our Opera, which I added a little bit more Opera just because I was running low. I'd used a lot of it, happen to like those hot pinks, and I'm dabbing that back in wet into wet into the areas that we lifted out with our paper towel, just to kind of add some of that color back in. But this is a really fun one because you can kind of do what you want with it. You can use the colors you want. My suggestion would be, don't be afraid to work big with big brush strokes, and don't be afraid to don't overwork it. Don't overthink it. Give it plenty of time to dry. And speaking of dry, once it's finally had a chance to dry, and we're doing the wonderful hyperlapse here, I love the magic of editing for this because you can really see what happens with the colors. Once it's had a chance to dry to the point where it's no longer shiny and the water is not pooled, so basically everything's been sucked into the paper surface, we pull out our hair dryer again to finish it up, because like I said, we are dealing with so much water today. We want to make sure that it has a chance to dry fully. Now, I wasn't quite satisfied with this. Speaking of overwork, I wanted to kind of noodle around with it. So I'm going in with the lamp black again, using the same technique I showed you guys earlier by utilizing clean water and our paper towel, just to kind of continue to delineate our sort of darker, spacey background. If you're painting along at home though, I would recommend leaving more open areas with just the bright, vibrant colors. That's going to make for a really striking bookmark. But regardless of what you do, once we start flicking the stars on with white gouache, or you could add them in gold, you could paint in constellations, you could add in planets. It's really up to you. It's definitely going to look like space regardless of what we do. And speaking of space, if you're looking for another interplanetary bookmark idea, I have a super cute masking fluid planets bookmark that I'll make sure to link for you guys, because if you guys like this one, I know you guys will love that one. So I'm reaching the point where I feel like this looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. So it is time to allow it to dry again, and then we can flick in our gouache. So I didn't let it dry totally fully because I wanted some more of those diffuse clouds. So there's still some areas that are wet, like at the bottom, you guys can see that, but there are also areas that are drier. So we're gonna get a really cool combination of our like diffused kind of misty space cloud effect and our bright, brilliant stars. I decided I wanted to paint in a little tiny UFO, so I painted a semicircle on top of a plate and then two little legs. Once it's fully dried, and make sure it's fully dried, you can remove your masking tape by pulling away at a 90-degree angle. And there we have it, a Galaxy-inspired watercolor bookmark. Would you guys like to see me offer this as a kit? Would you guys paint along? Would that be helpful for you guys? Let me know down in the comments below. And please check out some of my other Stashbuster watercolor bookmark tutorials. They're super easy to paint and designed for beginners, so you guys can just have fun, relaxing, and playing around with watercolor. If you're interested in learning how to paint on a more serious level, I've got a bunch of great tutorials that I'll link for you guys in the description. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and a super huge thanks to my amazing patrons on Patreon. You guys make tutorials like today's possible. If you guys want to join their hallowed ranks, you can join me at patreon.com/natosoup. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and happy painting.